Welcome yet again to Superbrothers, Sword and Sworcery, EP. The moon is now approaching its darkness phase, and it is time to begin Session 3. Let's begin Session 3. Note, this session typically requires a lunar month to complete. So, you have tamed the gold Trigon, and the storm has miraculously lifted? Bravo on that. Consult the Megatome and study its workings should you become lost or confused. A deathless specter still lurks in the darkness beneath Minji Tor. Consider the cosmic geometry of the Trigon trifecta. Observe the moods of the moon. Our research shows that social support networks may play a role in the outcome of this phase of the Superbrothers Sword and Sworcery EP experiment. Be advised that henceforth we will be monitoring your inputs in relative silence. What was that about? Oof. Trigon taming takes it out of you, huh? We groggily awoke from a super deep sleep with no firm recollection of what had happened. We were reminded of the miracle in the meadow and our encounter with the gold Trigon. What new powers had we been granted? Logfellow was totally floored at how awesome and crazy the fight with the gold Trigon sounded from the description we gave him. Logfellow wondered about how maybe the gold Trigon might be connected to the grim mysteries beyond the iron gate in the meadow. Logfellow didn't dig grim mysteries, so he chose to go home and chop wood. We spied a gold Trigon thingamajig above the iron gate. Maybe it would react to our song of Sworcery? But first, a bit of healing. There's those purple spots again. Better than coughing, I suppose. Whoa. Okay. What's beyond? Whoa. Beyond the cavernous cave in the meadow, we came upon a secluded grove with a collection of strange stone structures. Was this the Trigon Grove? As we stood beside the first stone structure, we thought of the gold Trigon and felt our swords stir.
Shazam!
Presumably, there are 2 more spaces for 2 more Trigons. And that grave seems to have lit. In the Trigon Grove, beyond the cavernous cave in the meadow, we approached a solitary grave and met a glowing ghost dude. The glowing ghost dude in the Trigon Grove totally freaked us out at first, to be honest. He recognized our Scythian garb, and he saw that we carried the megatome. He wondered if we understood the esoteric markings inside. In a whisper, he spoke the name of the deathless specter we had awoken in the darkness beneath Minji-Taw, the Gogolithic Mass. We knew the dreadful name from the old stories and felt our blood run cold. Up until now, I had the feeling that the Gogolithic Mass saw you as a bit of a tourist. Now that you've learned the Song of Sworcery and tamed the gold Trigon, you will find your every step is haunted. We couldn't tell if the glowing ghost dude was cheering us on or psyching us out or what. We told the ghost dude of our intention to detonate the megatome atop Minji-Taw and release the Gogolithic Mass from immortality. Detonate? We asked about the Trigon trifecta and the locations of the remaining 2 Trigons, but his response was irritatingly obtuse. The remaining 2 Trigons exist only in the dreams of the mountain folk. Locating the remaining 2 Trigons is not so much a question of where as it is when and how. The glowing ghost dude sure did talk a lot of unhelpful nonsense. Strange, I see a golden skyward beam in the woods behind the meadow. Has someone learned the secrets of the Trigon Grove? The girl seemed worried from what the megatome said. Let's talk to her. Dogfella will be alright here. What does that big record signify, I wonder? Is it a monument, a statue, or was it always there? The dark-haired girl sat on a stone beside where the woodsman chopped wood. We asked her about the secrets of the Trigon Grove and the peculiar dreams of the mountain folk of the Caucasus. She told us about how the dreams of her people held many mysteries and how they reflected the moods of the moon in strange ways. The girl told us to sit by the hearth in the stone hut at any time, either to go dream-walking or to gather our strength. We kinda got the feeling that the remaining 2 Trigons might be lost in dreams, or or something like that. The woodsman known as Logfella had returned to his wood chopping, and he seemed to really be digging it. Logfella had seen the skyward beam in the sky behind the meadow, and so we asked him about the secrets of the Trigon Grove. He spoke of an old story that his people typically told their children to freak them out. Logfella spoke of a posse from Scythia who had come seeking the Trigon trifecta in these forgotten mountains many moons ago. The posse had learned to seek sylvan sprites and send them all skyward, and then they had sought a location to enact a miracle. The posse had hoped to activate the 3 skyward beams in the Trigon Grove, but they had no idea where or when the Trigons were. The posse wandered aimlessly for a long time on the old road to Minji-Taw. Eventually, they grew weary, and so they stopped. Then, the posse was suddenly killed by a deathless specter by the side of the old road, where a handful of graves remain to this day. We told Logfella that it was a nice story, but actually, it didn't freak us out all that much.
You don't really have much to say either, huh. That's cool. Why don't we just enjoy the quiet?
Still, we had talked to one ghost. Communing with others seemed a possibility. We set out to investigate these graves and this posse.